Welcome to another night in the NBA. This is your 10-minute recap of the last night of NBA hoops, and there were two games tonight, the in-season tournament semifinals in Las Vegas. The first ever semifinals, the first ever time we're seeing these games in Vegas, and it was great, at least the first game. The first game lived up to expectations. Pacers versus Bucks went down to the wire, but I don't want to talk about that first. I want to talk about what I believe is the main topic, which is the Lakers destroying the New Orleans Pelicans 133-89, a 44-point blowout for LeBron and the Lakers. And LeBron in this game was dominant. 30 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds, 9 of 12 from the field in just 22 minutes. A masterclass from LeBron. I read somewhere on Twitter that it was the fastest 30-point game in Lakers history, and LeBron was dominant right from the get-go. There was a scene in the first half where he hit 3 straight threes, and the third one was one he launched from the logo. And if he's shooting threes and doing it well, you know the game matters, because LeBron is bringing out a different aspect to his game that we don't see quite as often, but he pulls it out when he knows they need it, and he was great tonight. It seems like the in-season tournament matters to LeBron. Guys like this can say that it doesn't matter. Fair enough to LeBron. He has said he wants the money, as does Anthony Davis. But LeBron definitely wants to win this cup. It means a lot to him. You can tell that just to show that he is still one of the best players in the game today. He might tell you he's the best, and, he's been great this year. Despite being about 39 years old, I don't think he's 39 yet. I think he's still 38. But dominant, still dominant, easily still a top 10 player in the league today. And the main kind of theme here is that he takes these matchups with Zion very personally. It's been evident from the start. Even in Zion's rookie year, LeBron wasn't letting that slide. He was taking that game, and he was dominating that game the first time they ever played, and it feels like every time since. LeBron just brings it to a different level. And yes, Zion left his relationship with Clutch Sports, and I think that kind of irked LeBron the wrong way. Maybe they hang out, in private or whatever, but their relationship publicly is not good. And LeBron gives it to him every single time they match up. And they did it again today as they dominate the Pelicans. There's probably a little bit of bad blood from Anthony Davis as well. Asked for a trade out of there, didn't think he could compete there. Goes to the Lakers, won a title with them. But he was solid in this game as well. Not super aggressive, 5 of 10 from the field, but they didn't really need him to be. 16 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. The DPOY case for Anthony Davis is still pushing strong, and he was good in this game as well on both ends of the floor, despite not being quite the level of offensive superstar we've become accustomed to at times. But both Anthony Davis and LeBron were a plus 35 or better. They were great tonight and easily were the best 2 players in this game. And Cam Reddish as well, plus 31. I really like what I've seen from Cam Reddish with this Lakers team. I think he's kind of the unheralded star for them so far this season. I've loved what I've seen from Cam Reddish, especially on the defensive end, where he's making a real impact. 17 points for Austin Reeves off the bench, 5 of 9 from the field. Efficient night for him, as well as 7 assists, second on the team behind LeBron, 5 rebounds, and a plus 21. He scored more than anyone on the Pelicans team. The Pelicans' leading scorer was Trey Murphy off the bench with 14, and he was a minus 25. Zion only has 13 in this game on 6 of 8, but he didn't take over at all. You'd expect Zion to be a dominant force, and he was just not that in this game. Brandon Ingram, 9 points on 4 of 13, was more aggressive than Zion, but couldn't get it going either. Even Herb Jones, who, has been more offensively pushing it this year, 10 points on 4 of 10. CJ McCollum, 9 points, 4 of 14. The Pelicans as a team shoot 36% from the field and 22% from 3. It was ugly for New Orleans, and a lot of that can be gifted to the elite Lakers defense. They held they didn't really hold the Suns to inefficiency, but they did force them to turn the ball over a lot. The Pelicans turned it over 12 times, but they were not efficient, and the Lakers defense strikes once again, doing a very good job of shutting down teams, and they will now match with the Pacers in the first ever in-season tournament finals. 12 points for Rui Hachimura off the bench as well, didn't shout him out, and 14 points for D'Angelo Russell on 6 of 10 shooting. Efficient night for D'Lo, 15 for Taurean Prince on 5 for 9. Just a very efficient night overall for the Lakers, 55% from the field and 48.6% from three, basically more than doubling the Pelicans' three-point percentage. Efficient night offensively and a dominant night defensively leads to a near 50-point win for this Lakers team. And wow, do they own the Pelicans. This is a matchup they take personally, like I was saying, LeBron especially, and they dominate them, it feels like, every time. But now let's get into the other matchup, Pacers versus Bucks, and try to get an idea of what happened on this night of NBA basketball. So, in other action from around the NBA, we did have one other game, which is Pacers versus Bucks, the only other game on the night, the other semifinal in the in-season tournament. And a lot of people expected the Bucks to win. This is kind of the second straight impressive upset victory for the Pacers, who take this one 128-119, thanks to a very impressive closing to this game. It's been the Bucks all season being a great kind of closeout team and doing a fantastic job in the clutch, but in this one, it was all Pacers down the stretch, and Tyrese Haliburton continues to look like a superstar and a top 10 player in the game today. I saw people arguing on Twitter after the game that he's the best point guard in the NBA right now, better than Steph Curry, which I probably wouldn't quite say, but he's been great. He's been super impressive. 27 points, 15 assists, 7 rebounds, 11 of 19 from the field, and the most impressive part, 0 turnovers, and that's been the case a bunch of times this season. I saw that he has 3 games this season now with at least 25 points, 15 assists, and 0 turnovers. No other player has done that more than once in their entire careers, and Tyrese Haliburton has done it 3 times this season. It might have been 30 and 15, maybe it was an older stat, but anyways, really impressive assist to turnover stuff for Tyrese this season, on top of the scoring, which has been super impressive. And I would say, especially after this one against Dame, is the best point guard in the Eastern Conference and is the leading engine of the best offense in the NBA right now. They also get 26 points and 10 rebounds from Miles Turner, as well as 3 blocks. One of the better Miles Turner games you're going to get, super solid in this one. 14 points and 6 rebounds from Obi Toppin on 6 of 8 shooting. Also caught a really impressive lob down the stretch from Tyrese, and that was big to them winning this game. Funnily enough, though, every starter was a 0 and plus minus or worse, and the guys that were positive plus minus were the bench guys in every single one of them. 3 of the bench guys were plus 14 or better, and the other 2 were plus 6 and plus 9. 11 points for Isaiah Jackson, 6 points for Aaron Nesmith, not quite as good as he was in the quarterfinal, but still made an impact. And the team as a whole, 49% from the field, not bad, but 21% from 3 is very uncommon for a Pacers team that has been really solid in that area this year. Then as we look at it for the Bucks, Giannis has 37 points and 10 rebounds in this one on a very efficient 13 of 19 in the loss. He was great. Damian Lillard, not as good. 24 points on 7 of 20 from the field, which is what? 35% from the field for Damian Lillard. Not exactly what you want to see if you are the Bucks, but I'm sure he'll bounce back. This isn't the normal Dame game, but Tyrese owned him in this one, and he did the Dame celebration, the Dame time celebration, in kind of a mockery of him that was cold. It was very cold. Chris Middleton, 20 points. He's been getting much better as of late. 18 for Brook Lopez, and that's about it for the Bucks side. But the Pacers take this one, move to 12-8 on the year. year. The Bucks fall to 15-7. Still a better record, but the Pacers have a real chance to win the in-season tournament and are one of the best stories of the season so far. But now, as I always want to do, let's get into the last segment of the night, which is the top 5 players according to the Real Sports app. I always want to do this just to showcase who the best performances came from, who the impressive players were on any given night. Only 2 games tonight, so the list of performers will be a little shorter, but you know, we probably already talked about him a little, but I'm going to shout him out again anyway. At number 1, we have Tyrese Haliburton, of course. 27 points, 15 assists, and 7 rebounds. LeBron at 2 with 30 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds. Giannis comes in at 3 with 37 points, 10 rebounds, and 68% from the field. He was really good. Anthony Davis at 4 with 16 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Miles Turner rounds out the top 5 with 26 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks. But that'll do it for this night in the NBA. Another night in the NBA. Thanks for watching. Think about subscribing. I'm on the road to 12,000 subscribers. So if you enjoy the daily recaps, think about sticking around and watching some more of them. But once again, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'm Herm. Have a good one.